Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Cancer, and our card tonight is the Sun. And I'm just going to tell you right off the top here, this might be kind of a shorter reading. My voice is about to give out. I still have the flu, and my voice is just not working with me. So I'm trying to keep it together. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So we have 2, 4, 5, 245. We also have 7, 7, 7. Jackpot. Oh, interesting. We have, it looks like a person here. And there's kind of these mental emanations right there. It almost looks like a, maybe a dog or a wolf head. We'll come back to that one. So I want to look at this right here. We have a person standing here, and it looks like they're wearing a dress or a robe or something like this. They have a heart down here. They have a bag of money right here, which they're kind of leaning and looking at. Behind them, we have a person who is sitting in a chair. And it looks like we have the omega sign, so the end here. But we also have the H, and we have the H a few times throughout. I see one here, and immediately it feels like a Saturn energy, kind of a Saturnine energy. We also have, it looks like a person, it looks like a lighthouse right here, and we have a Z next to it. It could also be 122, okay? So we have, I feel like almost this sense of being in a place of almost feeling kind of stagnant. I almost feel a sense of like a melancholy, sinking into the chair. Just kind of, unmotivated, having a hard time kind of pulling yourself out of that. But I do think that there is definitely, concerns about money. At least, I don't know. Maybe not like bills piling up, but yeah, the realization that like, hey, I need to make some money. And with this person kind of, looks standing up here, okay, seeing the bag, getting their eyes on the bag, as they say. I feel like there's kind of this, I need to start making some more money. I need to get on it. I need to start, maybe a second job or business or, putting more effort and time into whatever I'm working on. Whatever it is, I feel like there is a shifting motivation to, definitely make some resources, okay? Now, I think that this is in the realm of something that you love doing. I don't think this is necessarily a thing where, it's like you lament whatever whatever kind of tedium that you might have to do. I think it's going to come through a place in your life that you feel very passionate about, or at least feel at ease about. So something that may be pleasurable, maybe just, well enough that you don't hate it. And so we also have a ship sailing. We have the lighthouse over here, okay? So I do feel like there is movement. There's movement, but there's also caution, okay? And knowing how far out you should be going and, maybe where you need to kind of temper yourself a little bit. So there's clarity here, and that makes sense. We have that solar energy. All is illuminated. There is a sense of clarity, eyes to see, being realistic, being honest with yourself, okay? But there's also the rising inspiration. And part of that is the money. But I also think it's just this kind of, like dusting off. Dusting off and getting like those creaky joints, oiled up. I'm thinking of the Tin Man, and getting moving, getting going again. Finding that flame, that thing that is going to bring life to a place that you want it to be once again. And I feel that rising and ever so happy for that to be the case, okay? Both you and myself, I'm happy to hear it. And so I'm looking at this and it looks like it says N-O-N-O, so no. This is a name for grandfather. And I think maybe was no also a Cancer. We have a crab right here. We also have a pretty stern face, okay? And I feel like even though this grandfather figure was probably pretty, I don't know, traditional, kind of, salt of the earth to some degree, but also had just like had really lofty, high goals and ideas about morality and ethics and, a learned person, but again, maybe very like blue collar, cultivated as a being, definitely. Hard to be around if you didn't fit into their image, right, of life. Excuse me, in their worldview. But I think that you got along well with them. And I think that this is kind of one of the first and most important role models in your life. And we have the cardinal. So I feel like they are visiting you. They're probably transitioned. But I feel like it's the sense of they're there with you. And I see this person, it almost looks like they're kind of kicking. And it almost does feel like a kick in the butt, right? Get going, And funny because it just comes to mind like almost this grandpa figure being like, do it right the first time so you don't have to go back and do it. And like these little things that they used to tell you that like they are so ingrained into your mind. And these are kind of the things that almost the little mantras and affirmations that you have for yourself. And so I feel just a rising of energy. Now, I also see a circle of people here. I feel like there's a sense of connection, maybe being in a place where you will be with like-minded people, maybe some kind of event or retreat or vacation, or I don't know what exactly, but I feel like feeling surrounded by people that feel, it doesn't feel anxiety ridden. You feel accepted and you feel at home. Now, I don't necessarily think that you are ever fully in the grouping of people, or the group of people, or feeling part of a collective. But I feel like there are certain places that you go into and you feel like, yeah, this isn't so bad, right? I don't know that you ever get to a place where you're like, these are my people. This is my, my family or whatever, like my chosen family, my tribe. I don't know that it's ever like that, like in a really deep and true way. I don't know. I don't know if Cancers ever feel that way. Do you feel that way? I feel I'm only going off of my anecdotal experience, but I feel like every Cancer I've known personally and deeply, there's this point where it's like, yeah, maybe they connect with one person, or their family unit, but beyond that, it's kind of never being really a belonger, which is what I love about Cancers, because I feel the same way. I feel very much the same way. I take a lot of effort to never belong to anything, aside from my little family that I've created, right? But never anything outside of what I have created myself. And I think a lot of Cancer people are similar in that way, which I love and I admire. I admire that in anybody. All right, let's see. So we have an Anubis character here with the jackal head. So we have, I'm trying to see, it almost looks like a nest with an egg right here. I feel like we have a mother figure right here. And maybe a child. We have an eye, very ornate eye up here. Kind of an all-seeing. This is the mother energy, I think. Always kind of being under the scrutiny of the mother. Excuse me. And with Anubis there, it kind of almost feels like this is kind of how it always is, and it will always be until it's not. Right? Until it ceases to be. And I see Anubis standing on it. Looks like the world. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the world. So I feel like there's a sense of really being affected by that mother in your life. The mother figure. Maybe a wife, or maybe, it could be a husband that's taken on that kind of, that role of kind of, and I don't want to say all mothers, not all mothers are like this, but being over involved in every aspect of your decision making, and scrutinizing and criticizing, and this kind of, and you can see this mother kind of the way I imagine, having a hand on the hip and pointing, and just kind of difficult. You can't necessarily express yourself around this person. Yeah, and I feel there is, well, and then we have this over here too. Kind of almost reminds me of a mime, but kind of a feminine quality. I almost feel like it seems like a quieter part of self. And I think this is kind of, it makes me think of that more melancholy state. Quiet, keeping to yourself and minimal communication or alternative forms of communication. We have that egg in there though, in the basket, and it is kind of a renewal of life, right? The beginning of the beginning of the next part of your life. And so I wonder, I also see over here, it looks like two people sitting hand in hand together. One here, or maybe they're standing. I don't know. But it does feel like this kind of relinquishing yourself of, I don't know, maybe just this feeling of always being judged and always being kind of, I don't know, herded around and told how it is and what you are and who you are and what you should do and what, all these things. And this very like domineering, oppressive energy. But rejecting that, coming to this point where there's a rejection of it, going into this place of renewal and finding connection in self, maybe with somebody, that is a physical being. But it could be the anima and animus, right? So I feel like this is a time where you begin again in a fundamental way. Okay, let's see. We have an arrow. So we have love. We do have love. Maybe being in love. Somebody trying to woo you. We also have T-E-A-R. And I'm reading that as tear. And I almost feel like it's kind of, there's a person leaning over holding a heart. And it feels kind of like, yeah, somebody kind of trying to lure you into a love trap or, whatever. Make you fall in love with them or court you or whatever. Try to get your attention. I feel like this is exciting, but I don't know that it's practical. I don't know that those kinds of relationships last. I mean, when somebody who has an intention to, be seen by you and then try to, romance you into or court you, like, not court, but like, I don't know, almost like kind of mold themselves into something that is attractive to you to, get close. And I just feel like there's a distortion here. But I feel like because of these other energies, it's almost like you would do anything different. It doesn't matter. You might even know, like, this person does not have good intentions. They're not an authentic person. They're not, whatever it is. They might be even kind of scammy or, whatever, predatory. But I don't think you necessarily care about that at this point. I think that there's an attraction and there's a sense of just wanting to get out of whatever it is that you have been in. And we've all been there, I think. We have a vulture up there. We also have a K. K name. Yeah, so I feel like it is just kind of this sense of trying to build something out of something that's lacking. You know, I think it's almost kind of this thing where when we love for the first time or the first times, right? And there are things that we find out this is what the kind of person we like. This is something that, you know, is very attractive about this person that I fell in love with or had a crush on or whatever. We kind of carry these things with us, and sometimes we project them onto people, even when we know the person absolutely is unlike anything that we are really looking for. But because they maybe give us attention or they're available, you know, they're passionate about us or, you know, whatever, we fall into this kind of trap of like taking what is available. Excuse me. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course, you know. It might develop into something beautiful and change, you know, changing you as a person, evolving as a being, finding more things about different kinds of people that you're interested in. But at the same time, I think that it's important that we're very mindful when we're connecting with somebody. Take your time. Don't throw away your life or burn down your life for the idea of something. You know, take it from me. I've done it before. When I was younger, definitely have done that before. And, you know, we can tell, I mean, listen, somebody can tell you don't do it, but you're going to do it if you're going to do it. Just be careful. Take care of yourself. Treat people with honor and respect, especially if you're in a relationship and you're, you know, ending a relationship for something else. No judgment, right? Again, we've all been there. But do it in a Cancer way, right? Be kind. Be good to the person that you're leaving. You know, so I don't know. There seems to be I was trying to think, is it turmoil, turbulence? No, it's shift. It's just like shifting things. Restlessness coming out of this kind of slumber. Yeah. But be careful. That's all I have to say. Just be careful about, you know, how you move. Who you let into your sacred spaces, who you spend your time with, all of that. It's all so important. I can't express to you how important it is. My acquired mother always says, you know, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Now, I don't know about that exactly, but, you know, I have found that being very selective about who you communicate with on a deep level, who you let into your private life, who you let into your home, who you let into your bedroom, all these things, so important. And when you are true to self and yeah, picky, discerning, it saves you a whole lot of grief. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to go through here and stop where it feels right. Sometimes I just, these are so big. Okay, it says patience. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now. Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Often change soon follows. There you go. Take it slow, baby. You know? All right. Cancer, I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. And yeah, I am taking myself right. I'm going to go take a hot shower and then go to bed. I feel so spent. This flu that we have had in this house has been ridiculous. My daughter's finally getting better, thankfully, thank goodness. But, you know, my husband and I are both really sick, so I think I'm a little less than him. He's a little more. I don't know. It just, I'm hoping that we only have like a day or two left. I'm like, please. So, yes, please pray for us, for real. To return to health here. I can't stand getting sick anymore, at least staying sick right now. It's been a lot. But anyways, I love you. I love you. I love you. We'll talk in a few days. Take care of yourself. Don't get sick. Wash your hands. And yeah, good night.